like on the website, you should have a section that says, hey, if you want to get ahead, these are the things you should be reading, doing, saying, learning,
Yeah. So I'm trying to explain to people, how we get these breakthrough business development ideas. I actually one of the things that I spoke to this friend of mine this morning. This friend of mine who had the business and sold it, and now is a much happier, more flexible life. Is the volunteering that we do with all these banking association and finance association. Uh, Really, people think it's all about getting the next job, when in reality, it's about helping your current job and your current situation, exposing yourself, getting yourself out there, and then that's how these ideas come about. So, how about what do you think? How many organizations you volunteer with?
Well, volunteering is one way to really find out, what you are capable of doing, because all of a sudden you have to do it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
That's it. You have to do it. You're lucky to have 2 or 3 people that will help. But if you're not ready to put your hands into the dirt, nothing's going to grow.
That's right. That's right. Hey, what about this one? Endless referrals. How do you get your business now? Are you cold calling, or are people sending you business, or what you're doing now? How did you get it?
Well, for me, I mean, the key thing is to, one, develop a big network, and 2, work it. And yeah, part of that is definitely cold calling. I'll have somebody that'll give me a suggestion, and then I'll dig into it and start and do some cold calls. And most people don't like doing cold callings, and of course, people are not real thrilled about receiving them. But for me, I've always, sometimes you have to force yourself to do it, but when I've done it, I always end up learning a lot more than I expect to, even if it doesn't go successfully.
So how do you cold call? You grab a list. What do you say?
Well, I mean, it depends. It depends on different things that I'm working on. I mean, right now, for instance, I'll cold call. Well, in fact, today actually, if I find something like a company that I think is interesting, and I think that company is a fit for something that I want to do, then typically I'll start off with an email, and if I get any response from that, look to put it onto a phone call from there. Now, I've got this Bell Pay project that I'm working on, and there's a company up in New York that I want to talk to, and they're it's on my agenda for tomorrow to give them a cold call, see if I can't get the CEO on the phone. Probably not, but if I can, at least get to somebody, and then be able to basically give them that 2 to 3 minute pitch. I mean, you can't just do that without some practice at first. I've, as much as I've done this for so many years, Hernan, I still have a script that I basically use and redo a little bit, for each of these kind of calls, and it's just a guideline for me.
Yeah, yeah. I actually feel pretty comfortable when it comes to cold calling. Well, what I do, I always say, is try to research a lot before I do the cold calling. I don't literally do cold calling. I do some research before, like in the internet, on the UCC filings. I ask friends. I check in LinkedIn to see if I know the people. I actually befriend people in LinkedIn uh, uh, ahead of time to see if somebody replies pretty quickly. But basically, that way they get to know that I am trying to reach out. There was a company in Tampa that I called, that I became friends with the president not friends, I mean a contact with the president in LinkedIn, and then he started commenting on my post, and that's how we hit it off. So I called him that I was going to Tampa the other day, and he saw me, and it was pretty interesting. I mean, I didn't have to cold call him at all. So LinkedIn definitely helps out.
Well, I think, exactly right. LinkedIn is such a big tool now. And, I do the same thing, look to, I'm just about every day, I always send an invite to somebody that looks interesting, usually several people that look interesting. And yeah, if there's somebody in particular or a company in particular I want to talk to, if I get a quick response, then, I'll typically look to follow up with an email and then go to the phone.
Yeah. Hey, were you one of those guys that used to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal and sit in front of your desk and read the whole Wall Street Journal in the morning and then have a cup of coffee, or were you just wait for the news to come at 6 o'clock before all this internet stuff came about? In New York, what did you do?
I'll tell you when I had my own business starting in the middle '80s, of course there was none of that internet or any of that stuff going on, but I used to, the New York Post I would read, the Wall Street Journal, and Crane's Business. I don't know if I know they have that in New York. I don't know where else they have that, but Crane's Business I used to and I wouldn't say I read any of them cover to cover, but I would go through them and look and see if there was something that was really interesting. Then I would read it. But I really looked for names, people that would be interesting to try to know.
Yeah, how about anything related to China and the developments that are happening there, and anything that would happen?
Well, remember for me the big interest was always international, because my business, back in those days is international. So, I'm always looking to see, particularly in the product lines that I was working with, who else is either in the U.S. that's manufacturing something like this, or who in different countries are the ones that could be distributors, end users, government officials, these kind of things. And in those days, then it was real cold calling, because there's really no other way to do it. I remember coming into the office every morning, and the first thing I would do is check the telex and then check the fax. And the fax was relatively new.
And they would send you a lot of stuff through the fax, like advertisings, or did you get summaries?
Oh yeah. Used to get pages and pages. Well, especially the early fax machines were all on the thermal paper rolls. So you'd come in and there'd be like this big giant roll, because most of it came from overseas for me. So I'd have this big giant roll. Then you'd go through and, I would go through and look at it, see what was interesting. And then, because I always got into my office before my staff, and would be able to go through all this stuff so that I would have work for them before they even arrived in the morning. And one girl's job every day was to take all the faxes in the big rolls, cut them up, and then copy them onto regular printer paper, because of course the thermal paper would fade after a little while.
Thin rolls that will, you use it for 5 minutes and then it'll disappear. Be like that, like the Mission Impossible.
You make me sound really old.
So what do you do now to get ready? I mean, what's your routine in the morning? What do you do to get ready for your business mode, to change from your day-to-day to your business mode?
Well, for me, it starts almost when I wake up. The first thing I'm thinking about is, okay, what are those first couple of things that I need to get done? And usually for me, the first half of the day is much busier because, of Asia, of Europe, of the Middle East, and the things that I'm doing in those markets. You got to, I got to get on the phone to people 6:30, 7 o'clock by the latest on a lot of them. And for me, it's really easy because, I get up, I take a quick shower, and then I walk downstairs, and I can be sitting in my office, sitting at my desk, and right away, I've got, I don't know, half a dozen email accounts that I check first right away. I try to just quickly look at the news headlines to see if anything dramatic happened, and then later in the day, I'll go back and look at the news a little bit more closely. But for me, most of the phone calls and most of the things that I do are, happen earlier than 1 o'clock in the day. Usually after 1 o'clock, my day is a little easier in terms of who I got to talk to. But that's when, I do my emails, I do my, whatever documentation and whatever stuff I got to get out. So I can get it out before the evening here. So that way it's sitting there for people in Asia or the Middle East or even in Europe when they reach their desks in the morning. Otherwise you lose a day.
Yeah. Well, I have the same predicament. So if I'm working with somebody in Asia, so there's only really two choices. Do I wake up super early or I stay super late, right? And then that for us that are in global banking, you don't have a choice.
I was just gonna say, it's just before I got on with you, right? Just before I got on the Blab here, I had a phone call with Australia that started at 9 o'clock and went longer than I thought, which is why I wasn't on the Blab as early as I wanted to be. So yeah, that's your choice. Choice is either, to if you have to talk to them rather than email, or you gotta be up and still doing work at this time at night, or you got to be up early and start doing work much earlier.
Obviously, my head is always thinking of what's the next step in business. Huh? So I got a few friends that are WhatsApping me about the Blab. So what do you think about this blabbing thing? Did you ever think that we would be like, you would be on the phone and I would be in my house and would be blabbing? What do you think about all this blabbing?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm liking it because this is very responsive. It's better than
much
Skype.
better, and we can have a fun interaction with the people that join in. We can actually have. I was thinking about it. You can have like a live cast where you have somebody in base, like in the studio, and then you could be on the road reporting about something. And I don't know if you noticed, but you can't see it because you're on your phone. You don't notice, but on the left hand side, I have a thing that records the blabs. So you'll be able to check out this blab later on. Actually, I started recording when we started talking about the books. So.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I mean that's one of the things too that and I forgot all about that now that you had mentioned yesterday was the recording, because for me, especially with financial IT, the magazine and the website and everything, and what I want to do there, recording these kind of things and then putting them up on there would be
yeah. So we could do
really interesting for me.
like I was telling you, we could do crazy stuff like supply chain seminars. We could have our own trade committee discussions. We could talk about anything if we get away in advance. And
hey, we can be blabbing with Hernan about networking and making dollars.
That's what we're doing right now. You can see my background is much better than yours, huh? I got the whole world in my hand.
As you can see, my background is well. There's also the world in my hands back here, but that's my world. My world's a little bit darker.
Yeah,
it seems these days.
You seem like you're in a discotheque of some sort.
Yeah, it's the TV. It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie with a lot of explosions going on right now. The name of the movie is called
Oh,
End
okay.
of
I've
Days.
seen that movie. Actually, I'm gonna bring you another book here in my collection, so you can tell that I have all my books right next to me. How about this book that I have here? Check this out. Check this out.
Yeah,
Check this out. You'll like this one. Interesting, huh?
okay.
So how about
Uh,
you? Where do you? How do you save money? How are you saving money these days?
Well, I got to tell you, the last couple of months, not at all, because the summer is a little bit slow for me in general, you know. But I mean, typically, you know, there's always the 401k plan, and there's always, you know, the the employee stock plans, you know. And I would encourage, especially kids coming out of school and everything, if they go into a company that offers any of those kind of uh, you know, investment opportunities that come directly out of your paycheck pre-tax, you got to do it, and you should do it to the max if you can. At least if the company's matching, you got to do it at least to the company matches. Otherwise, you're giving
Yeah,
away
well,
free money. You
obviously,
know.
I whoever's not putting money into the 401k matching is crazy. Where do you get 100% return on your money immediately?
Yeah, not to mention what happens over, you know, 20 or 30 years. But the funny thing for me is, I know, you know, more, especially younger people, a lot of them don't do it. Like that extra, I don't know, $50, you know, a paycheck is going to mean anything at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
They don't
How
get it.
about you know? It's funny. So I was looking at this because I don't want to invest in the market and risk a lot of dollars, but you know, 50 to $5,000 is always good. So to start jumping into it, you know, I found this application that I just downloaded this application called Robinhood, which yeah,
Really?
if you can see it, it's well, let me put the code on it. So you fund your checking account, and then you start trading right then and there. You choose a stock. You choose
That sounds
drips,
pretty cool.
and a few stocks, uh, and then you join some mutual funds. But you do it right there. No transaction fee. I wonder how these people.
No
Yeah, I wonder how
transaction
these people make their money.
so money.
Let me see if I can. Well, it links to your. In this case, it links to my Bank of America account. Because I haven't changed all my money. Don't tell my boss.
Uh-oh.
All right, hold on. I got a few more books for you. How about this one? Look, check this one out. Check this one out.
What book is this one? See, now that sounds like
Yeah,
us right
yeah.
there.
You know
Absolutely.
that. So I met this guy, Matt Tenney, and I'll give him some props later on. Yeah, I
You met
actually
him?
met him at a leadership conference for my fraternity, Alpha Kappa Psi, which I tell you about, where most of these young,
Yeah.
smart young kids, young professionals are coming from. So I went to this conference and check what it says. It says, praise praise for serve to be great. Matt Tenney has the clarity about the world that is remarkable. His experience and lessons he learned need to be heard as many people as possible. And check out the story. Do you aspire to be a more effective leader who guides your team or your organization to higher levels? Would you like to look forward to each day and know that you're having a positive impact on the world around you? Matt Tenney has survived and thrived in situations where more people would have been quickly broken. So Matt, what he did was he made a mistake by thinking that he could trick the system. So I don't want to spoil the details if you read the book, but Matt was in the military, and he was in charge of I think logistics and moving money around. So like like Brinks, and then he and some friends uh, were basically simulated that they were going to steal the money to see if they catch him, and it seemed and he didn't do it, but it seemed like he was going to do it, and they caught him after. So they sent Matt to jail for a few years, and he had a spiritual conversion at in jail, where he became a monk for a bit, and then he promised to do exactly this, to serve, and his life turned around. Now he's a motivational speaker and writer, and he travels all over the U.S. Great guy, Matt. I should get him in.
Wow,
Yeah, I should get him in my blab in the next blab. I'm gonna invite him, the speaker. All right.
So he actually kind of figured out a way to skim some money, and then but didn't do it.
Well,
but
the
still
military, they catch
that
you
sucks.
if you do this crap. They catch you. You're screwed. They court-martial him and all that stuff. All right, I got another book for you. Hold on. Check this one out. Check out the one that I'm reading now. Check this one out.
Understanding Boys. But Hernan, you have two girls.
This book is not for me. the book I'm reading about doing some fun stuff with my daughter, so she can understand how men have certain differences from women, and to appreciate those differences and be respectful, kind, and all that. So, and she's 13 now, so all right. So back to an interesting one. You'll love this book. Check this one out. An easy way to learn common phrases.
Yeah, no, I love that one. I just got a big chart that shows you the Chinese symbols and the words and what it means. I'm trying to. I'll tell you, it's kind of too late for me in a lot of ways, Hernan. But I'm trying to learn a little Chinese. But if I was a kid in school today, whether it's junior high school, or college, I would be learning Chinese. That's going forward. If you could speak English and Chinese, and God forbid also Spanish, oh my God, you're going to be a terror.
You know that I took a little bit of Chinese, of Mandarin, but I can only say like 10 phrases the max. So I can't say this one. I want to go to a restaurant means someone. Restaurant.
Someone.
You know how they in Puerto Rico we used to have a joke that you know how they give names to Chinese people? The dad goes on top of the stairs and throws a can of Campbell's soups down the stairs, and whatever the sounds it makes, that's the name. So clink clank plum pling, tink clank plum plum. At any rate, it's a joke. It's a joke. Great. But this one's pretty cool because it actually teaches you Chinese. All right, what's another one? Here, I got another one. Hold on one second. Check this one out. Much neater one, eh?
Ready for anything.
But this one is productivity principles. Actually, I haven't been through it, so I'm a fan of productivity. Although I am not. My wife would tell you that I am not the most organized guy.
I think they'll all
But
say that.
I do multitask, and it's because of my productivity, tactics that I can do it. Uh, I'm not I'm not perfect, but I attempt to do many things at once. So kind of funny. All right, another one. How about this one? Look, check this one out.
Oh
It
boy.
says here,
Whew.
if you're
Tell me about
aging
that one.
like the average person, you're likely to spend at least $2 million in the course of your working life. You're also likely to spend more than you earn, fail to realize your full earning potential, and buy lots of stuff that you don't really need or want. Sounds like me.
Sounds like me. Sounds like everyone I know.
Detox
But
your
okay.
finances will help you get out of the money pit by offering solid advice on a variety of key topics, including how to earn more, spend less, invest wisely, manage credit and debt, and create a budget and actually stick to it. Bro, if I would read this, I would save more money. Like I have it here. I haven't read. Well, I have read a few pages, but we should talk about this. This should be a topic for one of our blabs. So now we're blabbing about a bunch of stuff, but this one. All right, this one is one of my wife's favorite books right here. Check this one out. Check this one out.
Oh.
It says
Yeah, but
effective
we do that.
communication makes life work. Uh, like driving or swimming, communication is a skill that may appear simple but requires expert instruction to perform effectively. This updated version of the best-selling How to Communicate combines a single volume the idea, strategies, tactics, exercises you need to become a real master of communication skills in every area of life. Pretty cool. I mean, it has saved me a few times. Whenever I've done something incorrectly, I go over here. I guess if I do something incorrectly at least once a week, it must be the book that I read the most. What it is. All right, what does I have here? Check this one out.
I think just have that book on your shelf or already this correct.
Oh yeah, we can use it to blab a little better. Okay, check this one out. Very important, Chris. Very important. Be
Yep.
careful. Don't fill my your screen with blab stuff. The blab is coming out of your mouth.
That's right.
So, pretty cool. Do you have one of these next to your house? Total Wine.
Well, I mean, oh yeah, we have Total
Cool.
Wine around
I
here.
took
Sure.
a wine tasting course about Italian wine, and I had done obviously when I went to Napa. I did a U.S. wine tour for all the major brands,
Right.
and we went to Coppola and we went to Kendall Jackson. But this one, if you don't want to travel far, I have one here by the falls, which is good, but it gives me ideas of wine. Wine is great for people like us. Instead of getting drunk on wine is not the best thing, but trying new wines is a great thing.
Oh, wine can be very social. When I was at ACI for all those years, the president of the company used to do events, and they always were centered around wine. So there's always wine tastings or dinner with wine pairings, and so he was always organized whatever we did. We used to do a big Cybos dinner during Cybos, and that was all again based on wine, and they would serve I don't know a dozen different kinds of wine, and they'd have a sommelier there who would tell all about it.
Yeah.
But for me, I like that and everything. But if we could get a book that would tell us about single malt whiskey, that wouldn't be a bad thing either.
It's funny that you mentioned that. But today I got this article. Let me post this article here for you. It's the coolest thing about blabbing Let me find the link to the article, which you're gonna love. Where the heck is it? Where the heck is the article? Start.
I kind of feel like, with my head here is kind of just floating in air, sort of like, the Wizard and the Wizard of Oz.
Here we go. I found it.
When we have some blowing up of things on the TV,
You're still on your phone, no?
Yeah, actually, I got about 10% battery left too. That's a sad thing.
We'll end up soon. So I'm posting here. See if you get this. Did you get this link that I just sent out?
Oh yeah, I got it right there.
You don't have to open it now, but when you do, it'll tell you the 11 health.
Too late.
Man, the 11 health benefits of whiskey. Whiskey is one of the most popular alcoholic beverages in the world.
I just opened it and saw the
title. It tells you 11 reasons why you should drink whiskey. Number 1 reason: memory boost.
Well, you see, first I only need one. I only need one reason.
This is the one that I need lately. Number 1 is memory boost. Whiskey contains antioxidants that help improve the health of the brain. I told that to my wife. And then the second one is,
I didn't know that. I'm going to tell it to mine.
Number 2, stress relief. In moderation, whiskey can reduce your stress. We know that. Number 3,
in excess, it eliminates stress. In moderation, it reduces it, but in excess, it eliminates stress.
The third one, fight weight gain. How about this one? Fight weight gain. Yes, it says compared to its counterparts, whiskey is a low-calorie alcohol, free of fat and cholesterol. If you're on a diet but still want to drink, it's your best choice. Do you know this?
No idea. I thought whiskey and I thought any alcohol was very high in calories.
Well, I'm loving this article. Check out the next one. It goes, reduce the risk of a stroke. Whiskey prevents cholesterol from accumulating in your cardiovascular system and can help remove excess cholesterol from the body. How about that?
That just really brings it home for me. I got to drink more.
All right, hold on. I'm giving you this is number 5. Reduce risk of cancer, which is it contains ellagic acid, an acid that stops DNA from coming in contact with cancer-causing compounds. The next one helps with digestion. Come on, it's number 7. Live longer. Antioxidants in whiskey help fight free radicals, the number 1 cause for aging. That's why I look so young.
I've got the same thing to both of us.
This is what whiskey looks like right here. Whiskey drinker. All right, diabetic friendly, containing 0 carbs. Whiskey won't affect the blood sugar levels. I'll tell this to my mom. She'll start drinking whiskey. Mom. Improve your heart health. Yeah. Drinking whiskey actually helps your heart stay healthy. Improve your health of your brain. 2003 studies found that thanks to the antioxidant qualities of the ellagic acid, moderate consumption of whiskey reduces the risk of Alzheimer's, dementia. Shit. I'm sorry. This is a clean. Wow. Shit. Cheese.
Hey, you have to see on
prevent and treat the cold and flu. I'm keeping one of these when I'm traveling to a cold place. So awesome.
That's right. You gotta pack that bottle.
All right, I got more books for you. I have the whole case over here. All right, here's another one. Here's another one. So who cleans your house?
Well, right now my wife's with her broken foot and everything. She's not doing too much of that.
I guess.
No, I'm doing it.
No wonder you're suffering, lady. Check this one out.
Yeah. Organizing tips. Hernan, my battery's starting to go. Do you see me?
I don't see you that much. That's fine. Don't worry about it. When you're gone, you're gone. we'll finish our recording.
Yeah,
I'm
just what the picture from my
okay.
side just went off.
I gotta leave at 11 anyway. 1 hour blab is enough. All right, what else do I have here? I got a good one for you. How about this? Oh, here we go. Oh, you can't see. That's the thing, no? You can't.
No, I can see you, but
Okay.
I don't see me anymore.
Oh, we'll stop there. I'll keep some for the next blab that we have. So,
Yeah, next time I'll have to be out of my office because I've got four bookcases
so this
full of stuff.
platform Blab is actually better, although you can use it on your phone. It's so hard to follow long conversations on the phone. I would strongly recommend that you're like in an office sitting down. But again,
yeah, I think it would be better.
If we're running a show and you need to be the reporter out on the street, blabbing. So let's say you're in Cybos. How about when we do we gotta do a blab in Cybos.
Absolutely. You got to remember, it's Cybos. I'm going there, for the magazine. Number one. Number two is one of the things I'm doing there are going to be video interviews.
Kidding. Well, it's funny, but
yeah.
what I might do is I'll start a blab about Cybos, and then have you report out what's happening in the market, and we'll get a few crazy people to do the same thing from other locations, like report on the boots, report on the Santander models, all this stuff.
Yeah, we could definitely do all that kind of stuff. Who's giving away good stuff? Who's got the best girls?
I can't look at that anymore. I'm out of commission. I'm out. But you can tell me all about it anyway. You're the field reporter.
And who's going to be throwing the best parties? Because as a member of press, I get invited to all the parties.
I do. Well, listen. Thank you for joining our blab. It's 10:56. I got 4 more minutes. I'm gonna wait around here to see if anybody that's watching wants to join in. But again, Chris, thank you for joining the blab for the day today, where we talked about blabbing about networking and making money and cold calling and books, and we really took it to the next level. So.
Well, thanks for being the host of this one. I'm really looking forward to the next one. So
we'll do a practice.
I'll be there for you. Don't worry.
Blab, and show people how to improve their working capital by accelerating receivables and extending payables and managing inventory correctly across the globe. Something that is near and dear to our hearts.
I like that. And, being able to use some financing from the banks, and for those big corporations with idle cash in their books, stop putting it into those money markets and bank accounts. They're laughing at you.
I know. Well, for the ones that are investing $50, it's okay.
It is okay. All right, Hernan, all the best and good night. Thank you again.
Well, I'm here still in the room. I don't know if anybody is out there that'd like to join the conversation. I have a few minutes to answer questions about. So we talked about books, talked about networking, talked about ways to make money. It's been a very productive evening here at the Blabbing Center. Do hope that you enjoyed. This blab actually is going to be available for replay in a little bit. So anybody who wants to check out all the blabbing that we did with tips and advice is more than welcome to take a look. It's been fun. I still have another minute. I don't know if anybody who's up there. I know Mike Hunt joined in earlier. Jamie Messner also. Paul, you there? And obviously Chris Principe, which happens to be one of the ApprenticeWorldwide.com sponsors. And I want to give a shout out to my peeps at Apprentice Worldwide, which are, it's a private network for career development and networking exclusively. And all my apprentices are kicking butt, obviously. I got to give another shout out to my favorite fraternity in the world, Alpha Kappa Psi, which is the place for leaders to be developed. And Alexander, Salton, Mike Dickerson, and all the leaders and Alpha Kappa Psi are doing a great job in bringing all these young students to the next level in their career. And all right, it's 11 o'clock. I am out. Peace. This is Hernan blabbing about whatever. I hope you can join me next time. I'll tell you way in advance so you can join in. But again, I really appreciate you joining, and peace. Hasta luego. Bye.